Hey you, thanks for coming back to the vlog. Yes, it's me, Charlie James, drive time presenter 4 till 7 on Pure West Radio, and this is vlog number two of Fast Track Charlie, and it's been going very well. This week I had 3 lessons with Simon Mottram of Fast Track Driving School, and Wednesday was a good day. That was a 2-hour lesson, and we were doing general confidence building, driving around Pembroke Dock town centre, which has got a lot of junctions and roundabouts and things like that, and Simon was looking to me to see if maybe I was going to take more of a lead, so doing the things that I was getting the itch to do, like changing the gears, the indicator, checking the mirrors and things like that, and I think it went really well. Of course, with driving lesson number 3 you're still going to need some prompting. I know I certainly do, but of course it was a really good lesson, and if you do live in the area where there's lots of those things, it's good to do that sort of as soon as possible. Don't get me wrong, it's great driving around the country lanes and just putting your foot down and just having a good old stroll through, but if you live in those areas, best to get to grips with those things as quickly as possible. Lesson number 4 on Thursday was a fun day. It was parallel parking. There I was thinking parallel parking was going to be this awful thing that I just wasn't going to get to grips with, and actually it went okay, and thanks to Simon, because Simon's very good at giving these little tidbits where it's not an overload of information, it's just enough for you to take in that you don't forget it a few seconds later. So for example, there is a great one called Up the Stairs. So when you come to a stop, it's handbrake, gears to neutral, and take the indicator off. So up the stairs, 1, 2, 3, which is quite nice. That comes to me as soon as he says that. I know exactly what he means. There's also who's there, very simple. So rear view mirror, wing mirror, who's there, or 1, 2, things like that. Really good to learn. And with the parallel parking, there's also something called the cake manoeuvre. I know, very tasty. That's basically POM, P-O-M, which is position, and then observe, and then move, or prepare, observe, manoeuvre, whatever you like. Just position, observe, move is nice. So get into position slightly ahead of the car in front, and then you're going to observe, look all the way around you, and of course you're going to turn the steering wheel all the way down like that, and very slowly with clutch control, and that's another skill that we'll talk about in lesson 5 in just a moment, very slowly coming in, and as you see you pass the pillar of the next car, that's when you turn, and then you watch, of course, in the direction that you're going. So if you're going that way, you're going to be looking that way, and keeping your eye on the handle in the left wing mirror, and once that lines up or hits the side of the curb, then you turn that wheel right back around and you keep that clutch control and slowly come into place, reposition, and there you go, you've done it. So it actually wasn't that bad. It was really nice. All those little bits Simon giving me, like watching the pillar, coming forward a little bit, looking around to this side, turning the wheel just like 90 degrees that way, all these little things really do help, and it was really successful. I actually did very well. So that was really nice, and again, the message of that lesson, parallel parking, was don't rush. So honestly, if you're doing your driving lessons at the moment and you're coming up to it, don't worry about it, honestly. Don't rush it, just keep your clutch control, do it nice and slowly, and that way you should slip in quite nicely. So, lesson 5. Now, this was an interesting lesson because we were doing clutch control on hills. Now, my clutch control has gotten better, but on hills, of course, the idea here is to hold the car with the accelerator and the clutch right at that moment where it doesn't move, so you can get going as quickly as possible. Now, I will admit, I did get a little bit frustrated because it seemed that once I couldn't quite manage that, everything else started to go out the window. I was I must have forgotten to check my mirror at some point. I didn't notice the indicator was still on. And we get what Simon calls the snowball effect, where you get into your own head, and rather than focusing on where you're driving now, you're still thinking about the mistakes you made a mile down the road. And obviously that's just not something you can do. You've got to be in the present moment. And Simon kept me grounded. Of course, for me it was quite frustrating, but he kept me in check. And the message of that lesson was stay positive. We have something called PITS and PETS as well, which is PITS is performance interfering thoughts, and PETS, which is performance enhancing thoughts. Of course, I was in a bit of a pit, so Simon was there to pet me up, if that makes sense. If you do find yourself getting to that point where you're getting frustrated, you've maybe made a mistake, and then you start sort of snowballing on everything else, don't worry about it. Just stay positive. You've still got time. Focus on what you're doing right now, and you'll get there. So this week really was quite a lot to take in, with the parallel parking and the clutch control, and also not just the driving part of it, but also what's going up on here as well. If you're like me, you tend to get a little bit frustrated sometimes, and sometimes you've got to calm yourself down a little bit before you carry on. So but Simon was there to keep me in check, keep me positive, and keep me focused on the goal, and not worried about making those mistakes. It's been a really good week, a very busy week, and we've got more to come next week as well. So keep your eyes peeled on our Facebook at Pure West Radio and YouTube as well, and I'll catch you in the driver's seat.